Welcome to Metal Album Warfare, here on Metal Ben's Chronicles, where metal lives. That's right, we got a good one coming up for you here today. Normally we would do these episodes on Tuesday, but I was busy this past Tuesday and was unable to do an episode, so I figured I'd make it up to you guys and do one here today. Either or. So got a pretty interesting battle coming up because both of these bands had the same exact band name. Both had pretty famous guitar players. Both formed in the early 80s. Both of their debut albums were called self-titled debut albums, and both had 9 tracks, and both ended with ballads. How ironic. Either or. I'm talking about the 1983 debut by Stiller, the U.S. Stiller, that is, the American Stiller, which featured a young 19-year-old Yngwie J. Malmsteen on guitars and Ron Kill on vocals. That's right, man. What more can be said? This is a damn good debut album, and this would be the first recording in the U.S. by Yngwie Malmsteen when he arrived. So that goes up against, well, the German Stiller, which this came out a year later in 1984, featuring a young Axel Rudy Pell on guitars. That's right. So yeah, this is a pretty darn good debut too. I mean, the only difference is the vocals are definitely a lot more grittier on this. Kind of like, maybe like Paul Di'Anno if you want to do comparisons. But yeah, so that's the debut by both Stillers. How ironic. So we're going to pin them up against each other. And of course, Yngwie Malmsteen and Axel Rudy Pell, guitar-wise, are very similar. I think Axel Rudy Pell's a little more melodic and less shreddy. But they're both influenced by Ritchie Blackmore, Jimi Hendrix, and Ole John Roth. How ironic. Either or, moving on. Oh yeah, and both eventually had Jeff Scott Soto on vocals in some capacity. Anyways, let's move on to the metal album warfares here between these two albums. Okay, so to begin things, we got Cold Day in Hell to begin things from the debut album by the U.S. Stiller, going up against Chains Are Broken from the debut album by the German Stiller. Pretty damn good openers. You know, pretty solid openers to be honest, but man, I kind of like Cold Day in Hell a bit better, so the point goes to Cold Day in Hell. Which Cold Day in Hell also was featured on the first Metal Massacre release on Metal Blade Records. The first pressing, that is, which featured a young Metallica and Rat. How ironic. Okay, so moving on, we got Backseat Driver from the U.S. Stiller going up against Gonna Find Some Place in Hell. Apologize there. I kind of had trouble reading my writing there for a moment. Okay, so Gonna Find My Place in Hell from the German Stiller album. I think that's going to get the point. It's a better track in my opinion. A little more new wave of British heavy metal sounding, so we're tied at 1 here. Okay, moving on, we got No Way Out. Oh man, what a great track this is from the U.S. Stiller album. And that goes up against Heavy Metal Century from the German Stiller. No Way Out gets that point. Holy cow, No Way Out has such a great guitar solo. What an intro, man, by Yngwie there. Just pure shred and just pure awesomeness. Alright, so that's 2-1. U.S. Stillers ahead. Okay, so now we have Hot on Your Heels from the U.S. Stiller going up against Sent from the Evil by the German Stiller. Okay, this one's a little tougher, but you know what? I think I gotta go with the U.S. Stiller for this one with Hot on Your Heels. So that gets the point. Okay. So we got Abduction from the U.S. Stiller coming up here, which is an absolutely killer track. Going up against Long Way from the German Stiller. pretty easy. I think Abduction's way better. It's just an excellent beginner. Or has an excellent beginning, should I say, with Anyway, just going crazy on the guitar. Really good stuff. Man, 4-1 so far. The US Stiller is ahead. Can the German Stiller come back? Let's find out here. Okay, so we got On the Rocks from the US Stiller going up against. Okay. Call Her Princess from the German Stiller. Weird title. Gonna go with Call Her Princess. I think it's a killer track. It's a pretty doomy track. Very Sabbath-like on this track. So yeah, that definitely gets the point. So the German Stiller is on the board. Okay, so now we have Down to the Wire going up against Love for Sale. Wow. Okay, I'm going to go with Love for Sale by the German Stiller. So yeah, the German Stiller gets the point for that one. Yeah, Love for Sale is just a killer track. It's just pure new wave of British heavy metal influence. Pretty speedy, you know. You get some really good shreddy guitar work from Axel Rudy Bell on it. Okay, moving on here. So we got Born to Rock going up against Hydrophobia. Born to Rock by the US Stiller and Hydrophobia from the German Stiller. Again, the point goes to the German Stiller. I think Born to Rock is actually one of the weaker tracks on the US Stiller's debut album. So we are tied at 4. Who can break the tiebreaker here? Okay, so we got Serenade by the US Stiller going up against Fallen Angel by the German Stiller. Both ballads. I gotta be honest, I'm going with the US Stiller. Better vocal work on this track, in my opinion. Yeah, the guy on, I can't think of the vocalist's name off the top of my head for the German Stiller, but his vocals do not fit ballads. They're very rough sounding and just don't feel right doing ballady material. So yeah, the Yngwie one definitely wins it. So that puts the US Stiller at 5-4. Man, and you get some excellent guitar leads on Serenade too to end it. Not that the Axel Rudy Pell version's bad. He does some good solo work in his too, but the vocals, man, are just a turnoff. So the US Stiller does win at 5-4. That's right. Here on your Metal Album Warfare's Friday edition. Coming up on the channel, we are going to be doing an album review for Black Sabbath's Born Again. That is coming up. That's in the works. Should be up this weekend. And shout out to Thralls of Metal, Music of Destruction, Damage Incorporated, Ken's Death Metal Crypt, Thrasher Be Thrashed, and yeah, man, shout out to all the real content creators out there on YouTube. And like, comment, and subscribe, and keep on banging those heads.